More Lane Myers charges revealed after Friday hearing. YouTube users, the documents related to this video are available by clicking the text-only link in the description of this video. On many occasions over the past week, YouTuber Lane Myers has said that the world is watching as a warning to his detractors, the prosecution in his criminal trial, and the judge who is handling said trial. If the world was indeed watching on Friday, they saw Myers essentially melt down in court and then receive new charges against him. The prosecutor released the second set of charges that Myers picked up when he was arrested for violating his bond conditions last week. These charges are what Myers are being charged with that earned him the no-bond status from earlier in the week. At some point, they may be merged with his 7 felony and 7 misdemeanor charges that he has previously been charged with. Myers' new charges are 13-2921.0 aggravated harassment F5, 13-2921.01 aggravated harassment F5, 13-2916 intimate threat /Harris Elec com M1, 13-2916 intimate threat /Harris Elec com M1, 13-2923 2 stalking fear Fizz INJ /death F3. Myers has already been charged with 6 counts of aggravated harassment in the original charges against him. The new stalking charge is different than his previous stalking charge, as it carries a felony 3 classification and centers around the 8.2 portion of the law, which states: A person commits stalking if the person intentionally or knowingly engages in a course of conduct that is directed toward another person, and if that conduct causes the victim to 2. Reasonably fear death or the death of any of the following: A. The victim's family member, domestic animal, or livestock. B. A person with whom the victim has or has previously had a romantic or sexual relationship. C. A person who regularly resides in the victim's household or has resided in the victim's household within the 6 months before the last conduct occurred. This charge may be the source of Myers' multiple claims that he was being charged with domestic abuse. A misreading of the charge may have brought about Myers' confusion. However, to be clear, the law concerns the victim's fear of harm coming to her family, animals, livestock, or past romantic partners. Hearings for the new charges were held on March 20th and March 28th, 2025, which resulted in an arraignment being set. There is a hearing for this set of charges to be held on April 4th, 2025, though no description of a hearing was provided. Friday's hearing concerned the original charges Myers is facing and was scheduled to be a hearing involving a change in Myers' release conditions for the original charges. The prosecution essentially wants Myers' release conditions to be changed because he picked up new charges immediately after his release and continues to pick up charges while live streaming from jail. At no time was Myers going to be released on Friday. His no bond hearing from the other case ordered him to be held until trial for those charges. As that ruling was in place, this hearing was about modifying what Myers can and can't do while awaiting bond on the original charges. Myers is representing himself in this case. William Parvin is assisting him as a consulting attorney. Parvin is a public defender who was originally assigned to represent Myers for the first set of charges before Myers decided to defend himself. Parvin is currently representing Myers for the second set of charges until a hearing can be held where Myers files to represent himself. The original case is being handled by Judge D. Douglas Metcalf. The second case will eventually be assigned to Metcalf. Metcalf has stated that either the prosecution or the defense can eventually ask both cases to be merged before going to trial. A third set of charges may be coming, as Myers has stated on live streams from jail on Josh Gray's. This is a public service YouTube channel that he expects to be charged for things he's done on Gray's live streams. Those live streams were at the center of the conditions that the prosecution wanted changed on Friday. The prosecution was basically looking for Myers' telephone privileges to be cut off, which would also end his ability to live stream on Gray's YouTube channel. Currently, the jail has no policy towards live streaming. It has a rule that prevents three-way calling, where an inmate can be called by one person then connected with another party. While in essence, That's what Myers seems to be doing when Gray live streams his calls with Myers. The jail does not have a direct policy banning live streaming. The prosecutor said that jail officials are revising the policy, but at this time, there is nothing in place to allow the jail to take away privileges for live streaming. Any removal of phone privileges would have to come from a judge's order. Myers was very argumentative during the hearing and argued against removing his ability to contact his family during his emotional support live streams. He did not pick up on a small victory he earned, as Judge Metcalf ordered a hearing to hear evidence from both sides on the issue of removing his phone privileges on Tuesday. Originally, the prosecution wanted a ruling on Myers' phone privileges at Friday's hearing. Because of the delay, Myers is free to live stream and participate on Gray's channel until at least Tuesday, though Myers also apparently declined to live stream Friday night. Myers was admonished by Judge Metcalf on multiple occasions for speaking over the prosecutor, the judge, and his own advisory attorney. He was officially warned that if he continues to be a disruption, the judge has the ability to take away his pro se status and to ban him from the courtroom during his own trial. In response to the admonishment, Myers insisted on having time with the judge to go over what he can and can't do in court. Judge Metcalf declined this request, stating that he has hundreds of cases and every single defendant knew how to conduct themselves in court. He was not swayed by Myers' insistence that his actions and outbursts were motivated by the fact that only he was truly innocent. Myers, despite arguing against it as he contended that the charges will be dropped within the next week, was ordered to be held on a $500 cash/secured bond and needed to abide by all previous release conditions. As previously stated, this was a token bond as Myers is being held on his new charges. Setting a bond for the old charges allows Myers to get credit for time served while he's awaiting trial on both sets of charges. An evidentiary hearing was set for April 1st, 2025, to go over the prosecution's request to ban Myers from live streaming. A pretrial hearing has been set for April 15th, 2025, where the trial date may be set. Because the vast majority of evidence in the case involves media, and the jail is not set up to handle media, Attorney Parvin has been granted access to bring his phone into the jail to show Myers the media evidence against him. Myers has been granted access to the jail's law library as part of the judge's orders on Friday. The next hearing in the original lawsuit is scheduled for April 1st. It is unclear when and if Myers will be arraigned on the second set of charges. He had an initial appearance in front of a judge last week for those charges, and a no-bond hearing was held to keep him in jail, but it is unclear if he'll be then arraigned for the charges. This is an ongoing news story.